What's going on, guys? This is Paradox AP, and in the last video I taught you guys how to take user input in a program in Java to make the program more interactive so that the user can interact. And in this tutorial I'll be teaching you guys how to make a simple calculator by using scanner class to take inputs. So without wasting much time, let's go ahead and get started. So basically, as you can see, I've already created a new class called Paradox Calculator. You can go ahead and call it anything you want. I just prefer using Paradox and everything. So after you have created the class, obviously you need the main method, public static void main string args, and then we obviously need our scanner class. Scanner scan equals new scanner system dot n. Now if you guys are like me and don't want to type import java.util.scanner on all that stuff, you can just go ahead and click Ctrl Shift L, and it would automatically import all the required classes and packages and all that stuff. So that's a shortcut. You should remember Ctrl Shift and L. And then we need to create an integer variable, and I'm just gonna call it n, cause why not? And I'm just gonna not gonna initialize it right now. Then I'm gonna create a print line statement, and this is gonna be a really long one. And I'm gonna say enter. It's not gonna be a graphic calculator like you can see the buttons and all that stuff. It's just gonna be a really basic one in which you can it's just command based calculator, not graphic based calculator. So we're just gonna say enter or type or whatever. Enter works. 1, 2, add, 2, to subtract, 3, to multiply, and or 4 to divide. And that goes in there. You can maybe shorten it based on your preference. Let me go ahead and try to fit it all on the screen. And then we might want to initialize the n now and say scan n equals n dot scan. Oh shoot. N equals scan dot next and semicolon. So what this thing is gonna do is, let me show you guys. It's just gonna display enter 1 to add, 2 to subtract, 3 to multiply, or 4 to divide. And then the user can enter anything it wants. If he wants to add, he can just enter 1. If he wants to subtract, enter 2, 3. And then you can maybe like enter 3, and that would take in the user choice and store it into the variable n, which we can use later. I can speak today. So in this case we'll be using switch case statement. Now you can also use if, but I prefer using switch in this case. Whoa. Switch. So switch is basically a predefined function and then the variable which goes inside switch is just this variable n, takes a parameter in case 1, and 1 is this thing checks if the value of n is equal to 1, then it will do anything which is inside this case. If the value of n is something else, then it would go into some other case. But let's go ahead and create this function or method or whatever. Case 1, I'm gonna say system out.println enter two numbers. You know what? We can actually do this outside the switch case. Just create two variables, int x1 comma x2, and then maybe just paste it, cut and paste it outside the switch case. Yeah, that way we don't have to type it over and over again. System.out.println enter two numbers, and then x1 equals scan dot next int, x2 equals scan dot next int, and then we can also create another variable called int result. It should contain an initial value of 0, and in case when we can just say result equals x1 plus x2. And another important thing is the break statement. We have to have break statements if you're having multiple cases, so that the flow of control doesn't go to the next case. Case 2. So case 2 is if the value of n is 2, then it would go into case 2. And case 2 should say result equals x1 minus x2 break. And case 3, so if the user inputted 3, then it should go in case 3. It should be result equals x1 times x2, and the break statement. And then we need case 4 for division. Result equals x1 divided by x2, semicolon, let's add the space here, and break. And then what if the user inputs any number other than 1, 2, 3, or 4? What are we gonna do then? So for that we can just say default so default is like the else statement. If all these cases fail, then the control automatically goes to the default. So in the default, I'm just gonna say this out, wrong input, try again. Do an exclamation mark there. And we don't need break after default because it's the last statement in the switch case, and the controller is automatically gonna go out of the switch case. So, and then what we can also do is maybe set result to that's a tricky one. You know what? How about you just print out? I know it's not that economical, but it should work. We can just print out x1 plus plus x2 plus equals result. Let's try that. I'm just gonna go ahead and copy it and paste it in all these, and this should say x minus equals x times equals and x over equals. Yeah, that works. So I think our program is complete. Let's go ahead and test it, see how it works. So enter 1 to add, 2 to subtract, 3 to multiply, and 4 to divide. I'm just gonna go ahead and test all of them one by one. Firstly, let's go from 1 to 4, add, enter two numbers, let's try 7 and 10. 7 plus 10 equals 17. Let's try that again. This time let's do subtraction. Let's subtract 125, which is 75. Let's try that again. 3. We're gonna multiply into two numbers. Let's say 5 times 95, which should be 9025. Not sure if it is, but it should be. 4. Now let's divide. Let's divide. Let me think of a cool number. 2048 by 4. 512. So all of our methods work: addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. But what if we mistakenly enter something else like 10? Well, it still asks for a number, which is kind of weird, but wrong input, try again. So here's the program. Maybe you might wanna move it inside the switch case, so if you enter the wrong input, it doesn't ask for the input to enter two numbers, but it works for us, you know. But you know what? I'm gonna fix it for you guys. What I'm gonna do here is I'm just gonna add an if statement and say if n is greater than 4, or if n is less than 1, then we should say wrong input, try again. And then else system.out.println enter two statement, enter two numbers. and we might want to initialize x1 and x2 to 0 so that it doesn't cause any problem. And I think we don't need default in here now. Should work without the default because we already checked that if it's more than, you know, input. It should be in the range of 1 to 4, and if it's not gonna run. It's just gonna say wrong input. So let's go ahead and try it. Let's try 10, wrong input, try again. Our program terminates and it doesn't ask for numbers anymore, which is good. Let's try something less than 1, like -10. Wrong input, try again. So it's gonna only work for numbers between 1 to 4. And I think that is it for this tutorial, the basic calculator tutorial. Yeah, and if you guys have any problems, just feel free to comment below. I'll maybe post this code to some, online storage, so, and put the link in the description so that you guys can check the code. And that is it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like, subscribe, and share. And thanks for watching. And as always, you can send me maybe $1 billion in the mail if you want. Ha, just kidding. Right, guys. See you in the next video. Bye bye.